Welcome to the Cenario podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the deep dive. You know, when we talk about vitamin B9, folate, most people probably jump straight to pregnancy, right? Or maybe general cell health.
Yeah, that's the common association DNA stuff.
Exactly. But what if I told you it's actually like foundational for your brain chemistry, affecting your mood, how you regulate emotions, your overall mental well-being? It's kind of a silent player.
Oh, absolutely. A huge player, often overlooked. So that's what we're digging into today. We want to unpack how this B vitamin, whether it's the folate in your greens or the folic acid you see added to foods, or, crucially, its active form, l-methylfolate,
Right.
how it influences everything. Mood stability, mental clarity. We'll look at the signs if you're not getting enough, and importantly, give you some practical ways to optimize things.
Okay, let's start there then. Maybe just clarify for everyone listening, what exactly is folate and how is it different from folic acid? We hear both terms.
Yeah.
And then, how does it actually work in the body?
Good question. So folate is the natural form. Vitamin B9, water-soluble. It's essential for a whole host of things. Think basic building blocks, DNA, RNA synthesis.
Cell division, growth.
Exactly. And red blood cell formation, which is key for energy. But where it gets really interesting for mental health is its role in a process called methylation.
Methylation. Okay, that sounds pretty technical. Can you break that down simply? How does this process, fueled by folate, actually connect to our mood and thoughts?
Yeah, let's demystify it. Think of methylation as like your body's master control system. It adds tiny chemical tags to molecules, including DNA, telling them to switch on or off.
Okay.
So for the brain, this directly controls how we make and use neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers. And folate is also vital for keeping homocysteine levels in check.
Homocysteine. Why is that important?
Because high levels are bad news for the brain. They're linked pretty strongly to depression, cognitive decline. It's almost like metabolic sludge building up. It can damage brain cells. Folate helps clear it out.
So it's actively cleaning things up and managing these crucial brain chemicals. You mentioned different forms earlier. How does the folate we eat actually get used by the brain?
Right. Another key point. The folate you ingest, or folic acid from supplements, has to be converted inside your body into the active form. And that active form is l-methylfolate.
L-methylfolate.
Yes, and here's the critical part. L-methylfolate is the only form of folate that can cross the blood-brain barrier effectively.
Ah, so it has the VIP pass.
Exactly. It gets straight into the brain, ready to go. Once it's there, it immediately helps produce those key neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, the big ones for mood, focus, motivation.
Okay, that's the direct link then. If L-methylfolate is right there influencing those neurotransmitters, you can really see how it would impact mental state. So let's talk specifics. What about depression? What's the connection?
It's a strong connection. A lot of research shows that people with major depressive disorder often have lower levels of folate compared to non-depressed individuals. The thinking is that low folate can directly reduce serotonin production, the feel-good neurotransmitter. There was a notable study in the Journal of Psychiatric Research confirming this link: lower folate, higher rates of depression.
So a real biochemical basis. Does this mean it could help people who aren't responding well to standard treatments, like treatment-resistant depression?
Yes, that's where l-methylfolate is showing real promise as an add-on therapy. It seems to help antidepressants like SSRIs work better for some people.
Interesting. So it boosts the effectiveness.
Exactly. It seems particularly helpful for individuals who also have signs of inflammation or known issues with how their body processes folate in the first place.
Makes sense. Okay, so it helps make existing treatments more effective for certain groups. What about anxiety? Is folate involved there too?
It seems to be. While maybe studied a bit less than depression, folate definitely plays a role in emotional regulation. It supports calming neurotransmitters like GABA along with serotonin.
So not enough folate could mean more anxiety.
Potentially, yes. It could heighten symptoms like anxiety, irritability, maybe just feeling more emotionally reactive or on edge. It's all tied into keeping those brain chemical pathways balanced.
And focus, clarity, that brain fog thing so many people complain about. Does folate play a part there?
It really does.
Yeah.
Remember that homocysteine, the sludge?
Yeah.
Folate helps lower it. And high homocysteine isn't just linked to depression. It's strongly associated with cognitive decline, dementia risk, and absolutely that feeling of brain fog, slow thinking.
So low folate could manifest as memory issues, trouble concentrating?
Definitely. We see associations with memory lapses, poor concentration, just slower mental processing speed overall. If you're feeling mentally sluggish, it's certainly worth considering if folate might be a factor.
You know, this distinction between the different forms, folate, folic acid, l-methylfolate, feels really important now. You said l-methylfolate is the active form. Why is that so crucial?
It's crucial because it bypasses several complex conversion steps in the body. Folic acid, the synthetic form you often find in fortified foods and standard supplements, needs quite a bit of processing.
Okay.
L-methylfolate is already there. It's bioactive. Your brain can just grab it and use it immediately. No conversion needed.
And I think I read something about a specific gene making this conversion harder for some people, MTHFR.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. The MTHFR gene provides instructions for an enzyme that's critical in converting folic acid to L-methylfolate. But a lot of people, maybe up to 50% of the population, depending on the estimate, have variations in this gene.
60%. Wow.
Yeah, it's common. And these variations can mean their body is just less efficient at making that conversion. It's like a bottleneck in the production line.
So for those people, taking standard folic acid might not help as much.
It might not get converted effectively enough to significantly impact brain levels. That's why taking L-methylfolate directly can be so beneficial for them. It guarantees the brain gets the usable form, bypassing that potential genetic slowdown.
Like a direct delivery. Is there clinical evidence specifically supporting L-methylfolate for mood?
Yes, there is.
Huh.
For instance, a study in the American Journal of Psychiatry used 15 milligrams a day of L-methylfolate for adults with major depression, and they saw significant improvement in mood. Interestingly, the effect seemed strongest in those who had higher levels of inflammation or known issues with folate metabolism, which fits perfectly with what we're discussing.
Right, targeting the people who likely need that direct form the most. Okay, so if someone's listening and thinking, could this apply to me? What are some signs of folate deficiency they should maybe look out for? Sounds like it can be subtle.
Very subtle sometimes, but the impact can be serious, mentally and physically, because it hits neurotransmitters, red blood cells, methylation, all core processes.
So what should people be aware of? Maybe break down the common symptoms.
Okay, let's think about the mental side first. You might notice things like persistent mood swings or just feeling more irritable than usual. That links directly back to serotonin and dopamine regulation. Then there's the cognitive impact. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, maybe memory issues. That's the brain just not having the fuel it needs for optimal function. And of course, clear symptoms of depression or anxiety can be a major red flag.
Right, the direct biochemical link.
Yeah.
And physically, what might show up?
Physically, persistent fatigue is a really common one. That's often tied to impaired red blood cell production, not enough oxygen getting around. Leads to feeling tired all the time.
Makes sense.
Then some less obvious ones, perhaps things like mouth sores or a swollen sore tongue. That can be a sign called glossitis. And also pale skin and feeling short of breath can indicate megaloblastic anemia.
Anemia.
Yeah, a specific type where low folate means red blood cells get too large and don't work properly. So again, poor oxygen transport.
So quite a range of things. If someone is noticing a few of these, especially together, what's the smart move?
Well, if you're experiencing a combination of these symptoms, especially if you know your diet isn't great or you're under chronic stress, or maybe you have digestive issues like IBS or celiac disease, which affect absorption,
Yeah.
then it's definitely worth talking to your doctor. Ask about getting your folate levels checked with a blood test. Catching it early can make a big difference and prevent longer-term issues.
Good practical advice. Okay, let's shift to solutions. How can people make sure they're getting enough? What foods should we focus on?
Diet is always the best place to start. Think green. Dark leafy greens are fantastic sources. Spinach, kale, romaine lettuce.
These usual suspects.
Exactly. Also, legumes are great: lentils, chickpeas, black beans, asparagus, Brussels sprouts are good too, and avocados, eggs, even liver if you eat it. Lots of good natural sources.
But what if diet isn't cutting it? Or if you have one of those MTHFR variations we talked about? Is supplementation the next step?
It might be necessary, yes, especially if you have known absorption problems, if you're dealing with chronic stress which burns through nutrients, certain digestive conditions, or those MTHFR variants. In those cases, food alone might not be enough to reach optimal levels, particularly for brain health.
And if someone looks into l-methylfolate supplements, what kind of doses are typically used, and any warnings?
For mental health support, doses of L-methylfolate can range quite a bit, say from 1 milligram up to maybe 15 milligrams per day. It really depends on the individual and what they're trying to address.
Okay.
But, and this is really important, you absolutely should talk to your healthcare provider before starting, especially if you're already taking antidepressants or other medications. L-methylfolate can interact, or as we said, sometimes it's prescribed with antidepressants to boost them. So medical guidance is key.
Definitely need professional advice there, and for just general baseline health.
For general health, the standard recommendation is around 400 micrograms of dietary folate equivalent, or DFE, per day for results. L-methylfolate doses for targeted support are often higher.
Got it. So pulling this all together, it really seems folate is way more than just that prenatal vitamin. It's like a cornerstone for our mental and emotional health right there in our brain chemistry.
Absolutely. It truly is foundational. Whether you're dealing with mood issues, that annoying brain fog, or just feeling constantly drained, looking at your folate status and potentially optimizing it with L-methylfolate could be a real game changer for your well-being. It's about giving your brain the essential building blocks it needs.
Really makes you think, what might change for you listening right now if your brain had optimal access to this vital nutrient? Could it unlock a new level of mental clarity or maybe more emotional stability? Definitely something worth considering.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.